Ice click like rain on concrete. Why is it blank when we meet? Feel the wet ground warm. We don't last long. Are we stuck in the same code? Pause between yes and no. The street winds below. We don't want the same things, but your beat stays playing in
Hello, folks. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. My room is a fucking shit tip at the moment. Not much I can do about that, to be honest with you. Just got stuff going on. Hopefully you're all doing well, though. Everyone's doing fine. Hello, Liam. Dark Knight Huron, Connor. Some names I remember, some names I do not. So if you've not been here before, welcome. Oh. So today's Hobby Nightmare did well. Nice to see. I really enjoyed doing it. Like it was really, really fun. Like today's Hobby Nightmare was awesome. So that's some good stuff right there. Love a bit of love a bit of. When you get good Hobby Nightmares, that's always the one. It's always the one. It makes the whole episode just flow by. I've started getting a bit more. How to put it? Selective in what Hobby Nightmares go on and what Hobby Nightmares just get a polite reply. So, I think that's got something to do with it as well. I think so, anyway. So I will be painting today. What I'm going to do is paint the model here in front of me, and then I'll show you my progress as we go, rather than putting a camera on my entire desk, because, like, it's a faff to set up. And I'd rather... The one thing I know is going to stop me coming back and doing these 3 or 4 times a week is if I have to set up an entire camera setup every single time. If I can just come on here and do some painting and show you as I go what I'm doing, that'll suit me. Quite happy with that. Eden Volcano, Fire Knight, how's it doing? How's it going? Hello, question is, waiting for 2.5 years for commission progress too long? Sorry for some question. Is waiting for a 2.5 year for commission progress too long? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. If you're looking at, like, a painting commission, like, what kind of commission is it? Is it an entire army? And how much money did you pay them? And are they still in the country, or have they gone somewhere else with your models? Those are the questions I would be asking if I were you. 2.5 years is a long time for any commission. In fact, no, yeah, it's way too long, dude. Like, you need to have a little look-see where your paint and your models are. Like, seriously. Putting together a bully grin for Kill Team. Good for you, Mitchell. Hey, Leg8. Hello, my brother and I love listening to your videos while we paint. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. To entertain. So I've got some Exiled Blaze behind me. I'm going to be getting on with it in a minute. I've got some dudes to paint that are not Exiled Blades. They're going to be some other people entirely, right? I think we're doing what I like to call Project Non-Cringe Spaceballs, because I've always been one of these people who says, don't say you can do it better and show what you can do, and do that instead. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do it better, try and do Space Wolves some justice. I even got some Space Wolves. You don't believe me. There you go. Those of you who don't believe me, and yes, there are sprues in there. There are sprues in there. So yeah, I will be doing non-cringe Space Wolves. Eventually. I have a hobby nightmare to talk about, though. Or hobby irritation to talk about. It is... Unfortunately, I just got a bunch of transfers for my Exiled blades. I wanted to change them up, you know what I mean? So I painted over the ones that I had and went to get some new stuff. And what I was given was a sheet of transfers that had the transfer that I wanted on it. It was an angel holding a sword. Pretty cool. So, okay, cool. I'm going to put them on now. How do I describe this? Okay. You can see this transfer sheet, right? So, what they did, each one of these transfers that you can see is a single block, right? So when you cut it out and you slide it off, it just comes off the paper. What they did, they put an entire film over the entire... It's so lazy that they printed this independent place. They printed the symbols on, right? And then they just lathered over the sticky stuff that keeps them attached to the page. So when you cut your guy out, what you want, you're obviously holding your tweezers, aren't you? So you're holding the tweezers, you're holding the transfer and the tweezers, and then you try and stroke the transfer from the paper to your model once you've soaked it in hot water and a bit of soap, right? And it won't go. And I'm like, why isn't this coming off? Turns out, me holding it, I'm holding the whole thing because, unlike these, which are compartmentalized, right? You see this flame guy here. That's the shape of the flame is the shape of the stencil. So literally you cut it out and it'll slide off from that shape. So you can hold the paper around it and then slide it off. So I'm holding the paper around the angel thing that I had, but it won't slide off because it's all one sheet. It's all one thing. So I'm grabbing it whilst I'm trying to slide it onto my model. That as well, the actual quality of the actual decals themselves were not very good. I wasn't impressed. It was like £17, 1.7. I'm never getting back, and money's tight at the moment, and it fucking pissed me off. Really did. It shouldn't have ruined my day as much as it did, but it did. I was really annoyed. It was my first day back at the gym today as well, so that's also why I'm a bit doddery. Since I had this thyroid surgery, I've gotten way more jowly because they cut in and then pulled down the skin to close it up again. So they basically pulled my jowl down. It's just really annoying. So I've got to go back to the gym and really work hard to get rid of it. Doesn't help that I'm a fat bastard right now, but I'm doing something about that. Like, today was the hardest day. That's the nice thing. Today was the hardest day for the gym because it was the first one back. And me and the missus have had a really good week in the Lake District and got, loads of food. So today was the hardest day. It was like the first day back at work, back in the gym, and I did it. So that's the main thing. I did it. No gym tomorrow, gym on Wednesday, no gym on Thursday, gym on Friday, and we'll be set. We'll be back to square one again. Volcano's fine. On Friday and Saturday, I run an RPG session at a con. Cool. I chose GURPS third as a system to filter out crazy people to not obtain Hobby Nightmare material. Good. Is that the one that Fallout was made on? I think it was. Firelight says it's a custom Gunpla commission. Okay. 750 point commissioned army. Okay. And he's in a different country, trying to push more last few months, but it seems to be going through a rough time. You can always say, listen, what you've done so far is great. I'll pay you for what you've done so far. Just send me the stuff back, and I'll find somebody else. Because any commissioned painter will be able to look at what he's painted and paint it the same way. That's what they do. They're very good, right? So that's what I would do. 2.5 years is a long ass time. Whether you're going through bad shit or not, 2.5 years for a client who's paying you is ridiculous. Get your shit back, dude. Don't make any more. That's stupid. Any commission painter that I know, if they have personal shit going on that's going to make your order a month late, they'll offer to send it you back free of charge. Do you know what I mean? They'll be like, yeah, I'll send this back, no problem. So, 2.5 years is kind of ridiculous. You need to get your stuff back. Chris says, really enjoyed your last team up with Mordian. Any chance of an 11th edition battle report late this summer? Probably not 11th edition, unless it's really good. If 11th is really good, then maybe. But probably not 11th, no. No. OPR, yes, because he's not played it before. So that'd be a reason for us to play. That would be my estimation there. I've heard good things about our latest what's it called? The latest Grimdark Therapy that we did. We did it was basically what your Primarch team would be. We had 5 picks to make a Primarch team, and all of the other Primarchs and Legions would try and kill us, right? So we're defending a siege with 5 Primarchs and their Legions defending me against the other not 15, the other what would it be? 11, right? 13, the other 13. And my team, if I can remember correctly, was... Well, there you go. Who do you think captained my team? We had a team captain, Primarch, and Legion. Who do you think captained my team in this defensive siege? Who do you reckon? Who do you reckon captained my team? Sam says, I watched a Cyberpunk roleplay game. How do you keep the persistent narrative going? Is it already predetermined? The narrative, that is. No, it's not. So, in terms of what John does, it is a full-on... Like, we do things, he's just like, I didn't expect it to go that way. That's crazy. Like why are we there? Why are we doing this? So no, what John does, he does it in a similar way to me. I will have a story for a campaign, for like D&D, whatever we're playing, and there'll be an A, B, C, and D as we go through. A, B, C, and D. You know, and I know those things are going to happen. Whether you interfere with them or not, those things are going to happen in the world. And the world will try and poke you, right, into interfering with them. You don't have to, but you will get opportunities to stick your finger in the machinery, see what happens. That's what he does as well. So he'll basically... We're mercs in Night City. We're walking around, and we're getting into jobs, and we're getting involved in the city, and he has 4 or 5 things that are going on in the city. Sometimes our paths cross with those things, and hilarity ensues. And, you know, we get shot at, which is, you know... Morty? No, wasn't Mortarian. No, it was Rogel Dawn. Rogel Dawn was the team captain for North's team for this. And so my team was Rogel Dawn, team captain. I had Perturabo as my second pick. Because I thought, you know, if we're defending in a siege, that's game, set, match. We got the the 2 best defensive legions in the setting. And not only that, but Perturabo can probably lay siege to their encampment that's outside the city. Do you know what I mean? In a crazy-ass way. But you attack the people who are attacking you, you sap underneath their camp and cause mischief. My third pick was Alfarius, which threw a lot of people. But again, he would cause absolute chaos and panic in a besieging force. Like, absolute wanton destruction in there. I then had Corvus Corax to work in tandem with the intelligence that Alfarius gets to lead assassination strikes and things like that against the enemy that's outside the walls. And for my last one, I think I took Sanguinius. I took him because he can lead the morale boosting, you know, he can be everywhere at once. And if Sanguinius knows he's not going to die at that siege in particular, he's basically invincible. So that's what we did. I was thinking about doing Gilliman as the last pick because you then basically use the Ultramarines to plug all the gaps in the line where you have any, and there's so many of them. But Macker already did that, so I was like, I guess I'll take the angel then. I didn't take the lion because he's OP. He's OP, and I wanted it to be interesting. I wanted my team to be interesting. I wanted my team to fit together like an actual sports team. So I didn't pick the lion.
If times are cracked, monitor, why do we freeze in its color? The neon hums our name.
Fort nearly received the GURPS rules treatment back in the 90s, though. They changed it to special. That was it. That was it. Yeah, they built the original thing on GURPS, and then they changed it at the last minute to do special instead. That was it.
No greeting here, just the throbbing machine.
So I had this guy.
Through the static between
Is it done yet? But I've been testing color schemes with
and stealing silence.
different models.
No face, no sound, just heat and defiance.
This being one of them.
We're lost downtown, where the sirens hum. It's just an echo, the night has become.
I'm looking for a dark color scheme,
Each kiss,
right?
a tremor
I think that looks cool.
in my core.
This is the second one that I had.
Only silence, wanting more. She hacks the signal, runs it through my spine. Voltage rising.
Those are the two I've gone with so far. I'm thinking of amending the first one and just using that 'cause it looks pretty cool. But we'll see. We will see. The story of the new chapter, the small chapter I'm doing, is essentially cynical space wolves. Right? These are space wolves who don't really see any point in honor. They don't really see any point in dueling people. These are guys who use eradicators, they use eliminators, they use like heavy weaponry, and they're really, really, really good at void warfare and boarding actions. Like extremely good at ambush void warfare. As in, they're actual pirates. They act like actual Vikings. Vikings were okay warriors. They were just really good ambush people, right? They would turn up when you least expected it and then run off with all your stuff. So like, that's what these guys are. They don't like the Space Wolves as the original chapter. They think they're wasteful and arrogant and cringe, kind of. And that's who this chapter's going to be. I'm going to call them the Umbral Wolves, I think. It's like Shadow Wolf, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing. So the black really suits them better for me. Even though I do like the blue. I really like the blue. In fact, I think that would be a really good way to paint Night Lords. You know? Anyway. I also think that the few days exposure is absolutely needed before you judge a model, because that blue model I thought was terrible the other night, right? Now that I've left it there to sit for a few days, now I've picked it up again, I've gone, wow, it looks really good. So, you know, always let your models sit for a bit. Once you've painted them, once you've got them done, always let them sit. Give them room to breathe. Walk away. Do other things. Then come back. Then look at them again for a few days later. Give it room to breathe. Give it room to do its own thing.
Executing.
You know? That's what I would always do. Hey Ed, how's it going, man? Mortarion would have been a good pick for the team, yeah. Again, there are a few Primarchs that only just missed out. Like, seriously, there are a few Primarchs that literally only just missed out. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm looking to get some Cyberpunk done pretty soon, actually. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking the next Cyberpunk is going to be May the 3rd, which is cool, this Sunday. So that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That's it, Volcano. Yeah, the same applies to writing. It does. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. If you... The amount of times I've done this with Feudal Punk... I did it with Feudal Punk just today, right? I was so down on Feudal Punk, and I tried to write something else, and something else, and something else. And then today I picked up Feudal Punk again. I was like, fuck, this is some cool shit. So I'm going to write it again, right? I'm going to carry on writing it. And just... Sometimes just give yourself a few days. Always give yourself a few days just to see. Let it sit with you. Let it see how it pans out. Whether you're writing something, whether you're doing, you know, some models, give yourself a couple of days. That's my advice. Like, don't try and jump in there too quickly. You know, don't try and judge your stuff too quickly. The amount of dudes I know who always hate their own models, they go away, they come back, and they paint over what they've done, or they strip the paint down again, and they regret it. Like, they nearly always regret it, and it sucks. But it's a very real thing, you know? It's a very, very, very real thing. Where you can absolutely just... Your own mind can just declare war on you, dude, when it comes to a creative outlet. When it comes to writing, when it comes to doing models. It really can. Pour it in the drawer and read it tomorrow, if it is good enough. Yeah. I mean, I will say this. I need to say this big piece of advice, okay? People who get better at something will do it every day, even if they don't want to, right? Like, people will get better at painting, people will get better at writing. You will wake up one day and go, the last thing I want to fucking do right now is pick up that paintbrush or start typing these words. And that's fine. That's fine. But just remember, the other 90% of the people out there will push through that. And will get shit done. And will get better. And leave you behind. Maybe it's not even 90%. Maybe let's call it, you know, the next 20% of dudes. Right? There's going to be a good 20% of dudes who are going to leave you behind if you do that. They're going to just go, okay, I'm going to push through, I'm going to do this. And that's what they're going to do. Right. I'm going to... get my paint ready. Where are they? Contrast. No, that's not that one. Black Templar. Do you know what the best way to paint black and edge highlight black? I'm going to give you all of the inside scoop now, right? The best way to paint black is to paint it white. I'm serious. The best way to paint black is to paint it white. This Space Marine, by the time we finish this stream, will be black. Okay? At least his main bits will be black. And it's all through contrast paint. All these mystical tools Games Workshop have kept from us all these years. It says, is the great stage of the West looking forward to the 11th? Also nice mug. Cheers, man. No. I'm not. I'm not, anyway. I'm not really looking forward to 11th. I'm just burned out. I'm just burned out of the hobby of... not the hobby, but like for the 40k churn. I'm absolutely burnt out. Like, yeah, hugely burnt out on 40k churn. Can't be bothered with it. I'm at that stage now where I've done this with a few video games as well, where I've been like, you know what? If that video game comes out, awesome, and if it's great, good, I'll get it at a later date. But at release, no, I'm not getting it. Right? I'm kind of the same with 40k. If 11th edition is really good, I will be very happy. Hurrah. But I'm not holding my breath. And, you know, I sincerely doubt that they're going to do really good stuff, because they never do. You know, the edition will come out, the same old people will praise it. And do you know what pisses me off? The same people who praise it will be the same ones who are tearing it apart like 6 months later. Because they think you're stupid and they think you've forgotten. Problem is, most of us do. So, but yeah, that shit annoys me. I am painting now if I go quiet in between musings, by the way. Yep. So I'm not sure if we're going tonight or tomorrow, but me and the missus are going to see Akira in the theatre pretty soon. I'm going to go before the Lake District, but we didn't really have time, unfortunately. So I think we're going to go tomorrow. It is going to be on at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, oh, it's a bit early, but fuck it, let's do it. It's Akira, man. You got to go see it. It's in the cinema. You got to go see it. Okay, he says, I find the most difficult in writing English. It's a foreign language to me. It's coming up with good linking words to connect the previous sentence. Yeah, kind of happen. To finish the black powder armor, satin varnish tends to make the black pop more than matte varnish does. Okay, I'll think of that. I'll think of that. Thank you. Thank you. I'll buy some. Satin varnish. Yeah, I think with the Umbral Wolves, I think I've kind of put myself in a box of they have to be black because of what they are, right? They are stealth marines in space. These guys aren't going to be wearing like super duper silvery whatever armor, right? I'm not going to be wearing blue either. I like that blue, but I think I'm going to use it for like when I do Night Lords, and I will do Night Lords eventually. I'll do like a little Night Lords force maybe. That's what I'll use that blue for, with the lightning on it. And Legate says, 40k, I scour eBay for models. I can't afford going with Games Workshop prices. That's not a bad thing, man. Like, that, in all honesty, that is not a bad thing. Like, you're probably doing the right thing for your wallet. When you've got people who work in the company who can't afford it, that's when you know things are pretty shit. You know, that's when you know. Dudes working for that company were like, yeah, I can't afford this, with their 50% discount. And that's also maybe because they pay their staff peanuts, but that's, you know, neither here nor there, I suppose. But they do. But they do. I remember getting into trouble back in the day. People ask me, like, why don't you release the black book that they use? Because you get loads of views for it. And I'm like, yeah, I know I will, but at the same time, unfortunately, doing that would get me in hot water, because I remember back in the day, those of you who are original channels, fans of the channel, will know that back in the day, I showed you my payslip from Games Workshop, just to show you how much or how little you get paid as a manager, right, of a normal store. A lot of people were shocked. A lot of people weren't. A lot of people were like, yeah, look, sounds like Games Workshop. But for that, I got some very stern messages and threats of all sorts from Games Workshop. So I don't want to do anything like that again, because, like, you know, you poke the bear, fair enough, but, like, back then I was living with my grandpa and I had no means of fighting back against them, so I was like, yeah, do you know what, screw this, it's not worth it. I cheekily left the video up, because it was like, well, yeah, they didn't request me to take the video down, they just said don't do it again. I was like, oh, I guess I'll, or don't show any more of your correspondence between us and you, the confidential. And I was like, alright, fair enough. But I was under the impression that they were my correspondence, I could do what I want with them, you know, but apparently not. Of course, Northern Law you find out by just watching the streams. Okay. Yeah, so that's why I'm never going to show the black book on stream or anywhere. If I can even find it, it's around here somewhere. I recorded a video today that talks about female custodians, right? And I think my take's quite reasonable. But there is an article out there that I'm talking about during the video. And dude, I ripped this guy a fucking new one. Swear to God, it's like vicious. And I'm considering re-recording it. Considering re-recording it because it just, I don't like attacking people. There you go. Black armor, not finished yet. We've got another another coat to go. That's your base done. That's your base done. The quickest base I've ever done is Exiled Blades. That dry brushing silver, man, it's a cheat code. It's a cheat code. Let me tell you. Owen says, if the codexes are still usable, not that much is really changing. That's also true. That's also true. Then why bring out a new edition then? Do you know what I mean? Why bring out a new edition? If it doesn't matter that much, why bother? You know what I'm saying? Why would you? Just chill. You know? If you're bringing out a new edition of a game, and by your own admission, you're keeping the codexes in place, Okay, fine. That's quite cool. I like that. But it begs the question, why are you doing a new edition then? Why don't you still do updated rules for the current edition, so you don't need to buy this big, massive fucking box set to get a hold of your new rules? You know? Or maybe the rules aren't in there, so maybe you're saying, okay, well, you need to buy the big box set because all the new models are in there. Well, why don't you release them as new models? Why do we need this FOMO, you know, nonsense? Okay, are you a zombie fan? Next year, Blight Survival will be released. It's a medieval zombie extraction PvE video game. I've seen that. It does look pretty good. I'm not a huge zombie fan. I'm not against them. I nothing them. If you do something interesting with them, I'll probably watch your show. Figure out what's going on. But yeah. Alright. How's everyone doing? Everyone's very quiet tonight. So this is the first live stream of the week. I'm going to do another 2, I think. I'm going to try and do 3 live streams a week. That's what I'm going to try and do. I said the other night on Patreon, on the video over there, I said, look. Okay, whilst that dries, I'm going to get into this, right? I'm going to get into this. So, here's the issue. Wargaming on YouTube is being battered. Like, big time. We're all being battered. Whether it's from Baltimore and Major Kill down, we're all being battered by the algorithm. Now, I'm one of these people who says sometimes your content ain't that good. So, people just lose interest. And I agree. Absolutely. Even with my channel, dude. Like, today, I'm so glad about today because, like, I feel for the last, since my surgery, since December, I've not really tried, right? I've just really enjoyed, you know, doing the channel, but I've not really put loads of effort into it. I've just sort of coasted. And the views have started to go down, like quite substantially. Now, the difference there is I know the difference between it going down normally and it tanking, right? It was going down normally, and I was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm just not trying that hard. I need to try harder at this rather than doing this. It's all on me. And then you'd see your views go like 50% less, and like, okay, dude, that's not me. Like that's why is that all of a sudden happening from after one weekend? You know, it goes from like 50% less. And I talked to other people who are wargaming YouTubers, and they've said the same thing. Some of them have it even worse. Some of them have like 90% drop-off rates, which is crazy. So that's just where we are with it, unfortunately. It's going to be one of those days where we have... how do I put it? Just shit not going right. Just shit not going right? For dudes who do wargaming on YouTube. Now, again, today I'm really happy because I went out of my way to change how I did Hobby Nightmares. So today I did I did all the YouTube stuff, the etiquette, right? I did the introduction, then I previewed the Hobby Nightmare that's going to be at the end of the episode. That I think is going to be really cool. Why you should stick around. I then showed people's models off. Then I did the first Hobby Nightmare. Then I did a Patreon plug of the new Patreon, which is awesome. Then I did the final Hobby Nightmare, right? And it was such a fun thing to do. It was so fun. And I really enjoyed it. And it's the best performing video that I've had in a while. Early days, but it's the best performing video I've done in a while. So it does show that when you put in the effort and you actually, you know, like for me it would be looking at the best Hobby Nightmares that I can. You know, you're actually going into my mailbag and reading through and getting a really good one. You know, that kind of a thing. Being more selective. But also the delivery seems to have really worked. The rate at which people stick around in the video is also much higher, which is great. That's wonderful. Like, the cool thing is, concurrent viewers, like people who've like been watching it, you know, has gone up and up and up as the video goes on, which is great. It means people are sticking around for more of the video, and that will help it in the algorithm push more. So I think finally I've worked it out, like what to do, to make sure. I think the issue with my channel is that not only was I really coasting, but in my episodes I just say, hey guys, here's the Hobby Nightmares, and I just do the Hobby Nightmares, which is great. It's fine, like if that's what you want to do. But people are gonna, once you've blown your load, sort of a thing. Once you've said, okay, here's the Hobby Nightmare you actually came to see that's on the thumbnail, they just leave. They just leave, because why would you stick around, right? So I'm getting the etiquette right now. I'm putting more effort in. I think tomorrow's 40k rant's a really good one. That closes off the female custodies issue on the channel for a bit. I've got another amazing Hobby Nightmare for Wednesday. And on Thursday, I'm going to be doing a 40k rant on can 40k ever fail, which is like something I wanted to do for a while. So, really happy with doing that. I think the nice weather will also play a part in the low view count. Yeah, I mean, it's nice weather here, but like that's been happening for 2 weeks now, and it was shit weather for a while. So, hey Ford, how's it going, man? So yeah, unfortunately, it just happens, you know. But everybody's suffering. Everybody's suffering. So it's also not just me, which is, you know, something that I'm grateful for. I don't wish it on anybody, but it's nice to know you're not the only one. You know what I mean? But today showed me that if I do it right, and I plug away, and I turn up, and I sit down and do it, throw myself into it, people will stick around. People will be here for the content, you know. I was really afraid that I was going to check my recent uploads and it would say this video was 9th or 10th out of 10, and I'd be like, oh, because what YouTube does, it tells you, do you know what, I can just show you. Let me do a snippet here. Snipping tool. Okay. I love the snipping tool. So that's like my new thing that I know it's been on Windows for ages, I know, but you know, I'm old and stupid, so like you have to bear with me. But this is what it normally shows you, right? When you're looking on your YouTube, right? This is what it shows you. All right, so you can see that, right? So normally I hover over that 1 out of 10, and I see 10th out of 10 or 9th out of 10, right? And this green button next to the number will be a grey one turned upside down, right? Saying not as many people are watching this, you know, that kind of thing. I've had more provocative video titles. I've had more provocative video thumbnails, and they've all been 9th or 10th out of 10. The one day I really go for it in terms of the effort that I put into it and the energy I bring to the video, it's 1 out of 10. It's the best one I've released of the past 10 videos, which is phenomenal. Really, really good. So I'm really happy about that. Hoping it carries on. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow whether it carries on. Because tomorrow's thumbnail is a bit spicy, to say the least. That's what it normally looks like on YouTube if you want to check it out. Hey, Sam, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you want to attach a question to that, dude? Or are you just being nice? Volcano says, I was wondering if you have a page limit on Hobby Nightmare material. I don't. Okay, the page limit is how interesting your Hobby Nightmare is. So if you give me a Pirate King like Nightmare that is like 15 pages long, but it's this epic Hobby Nightmare that is just so fun to read, and it's well written, you can send me a long one, and I'll read it, right? If your Hobby Nightmare is self-indulgent bullshit, strung out over 10 pages, I'm probably going to get quarter of the way through, get bored, and want to stop reading, right? You're writing a Hobby Nightmare to get things off your chest, and I get that, but you're also writing to entertain. So, don't throw gags in every 5 minutes. I mean, like, you know, be aware of who you're writing into. And I'm being a lot more selective now as well, so it is... Only the best ones will be on the channel. Other Hobby Nightmares, I'll just email you back and be like, thanks for sending that in. Really sorry that happened to you. Here's my advice. What you should do next. See you later, right? But I'll try and read out as many as I can. Internet says, really enjoyed the Primark discussion with Noobs a few weeks ago. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, that was with... Black Lodge Games. Yeah, dude, that was really fun. I remember Pirate King. We all remember Pirate King. We all remember Pirate King. Pour one out to Pirate King. Hey, Sam, let me know if you want me to do your a question there, buddy. John, I'll get to you in a second. I'm just going to do my second coat of Black Templar on these guys. So, can you see on the model where there are lighter parts? Okay, I'm avoiding the edges of the model, and I'm just literally putting the black onto the center parts of the armor now. So your first coat is basically just like fucking slather it on, who cares, right? Your second coat is the one we want to be a bit more cautious. Just going around the edges. Not the edges, the inside of the armor. So you preserve the natural edge highlight that the contrast paint gives you, because the contrast paint will dry and it will let the white underneath, well, the grey sear that I undercoated it with, show through. Basically, you don't want to smother it, you want to let it do its work. You know what I mean? Try and be mindful of where you know the light's going to hit as well. Nearly done on the legs, which is nice. So the other day on Patreon, we were talking about why men find certain women attractive. And I said, Sydney Sweeney's like a... In reality, she's like an 8 out of 10, right? She's not a 10, she's an 8 out of 10. But her attitude and the way she is makes her a 10 out of 10. A friend of mine, Shemek, said, oh, I don't know about that, I think she is a bit of a 10. I was like, we'll agree to disagree. I'm kind of coming around to his way of thinking now. I don't know.
System online.
Don't know.
Target in motion.
That's just me.
Executing. Executing. I'm next.
Okay. Legs are done. Now I just do the top part of the armor, and then I'm ready to do some more questions. Sam did do a question. Good. I'll answer that one first. Am I open to bribery? Yes. Absolutely. Anybody who pays me money will get their answer, get their question read out first. Beautiful.
Executing.
Beautiful black armor. I'm gonna do those panels as well.
Chemical noise she can't decode. Look, she missed in hunter mode. Circuits twitch beneath her skin. Emotion leaking in.
Go. Right, let him dry again. Right, question time. Let's do it. Oh, thank you, Dark Knight. Cheers, dude. I'll answer your question in a second as well. Sam said, I haven't got a question, sorry, dude, just showing support. Well, thank you, Sam. Cheers, mate. It means a lot to me. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Patreons on this channel, like, they literally just are phenomenal people. Like, yeah, the fact that you give me money at all is something that I'll never get used to. Okay. Oh, good one by John in a minute. I'll read that in a sec. Dark Knight says, working on Tyranids and Bretonians. That's an eclectic mix right there. Thinking about getting those Mark 6 boxes from the Horus Heresy and doing Crimson Fists. But I feel like the narrative control of a custom chapter might be better. Okay. If your custom chapter has Heresy era armor, you need to work out a reason why that is. And there could be a valid reason for it. You need to work out a reason why that is. That's the fun part of doing that kind of thing. I might do that with the Exiled Blades because they were around during the Horus Heresy. They're a part of the Wordbearers Legion. Although nobody knows that to keep it away from Gilliman. So I might do that because I've got the Age of Darkness box set behind me. Although when I looked up how much the Age of Darkness box set goes for now on eBay, I was like, if I sell that, that's my rent this month. So I might do that as well. I am not sure. We will see. So, John says, question, what % of the stories you read out do you think are fake? Okay, I think I've gotten a lot better over the years at figuring out untrue hobby nightmares. I think you might have seen a few episodes where I do that too. I call it out. I go, this doesn't sound good, right? And it's kind of like a mini game we have on Hobby Nightmares where we try and figure you out if you're bullshitting us. Myself and the audience have also grown really, really good at not just figuring out whether a Hobby Nightmare is true, but if you send me a Hobby Nightmare that's true, right? The gist of it is true, but you change 2 or 3 things to make yourself look better, like, the audience and myself can actually pick that out and say, hey, we know that's not true. Do you know what I mean? Like that bit isn't true. The rest of it is true. That bit isn't, right? So I would say we used to get, like, maybe 1 in 10. Maybe 1 or 2 in 10 would be highly sus Hobby Nightmares. Nowadays, because people have been caught out, and when they are caught out, they're ruthlessly mocked, right? So when it's happened, that sort of made them scurry away. So now we only really get either truthful ones, and even then, like, I think I've grown quite good at picking out when people are trying to use flowery language or dress up their own part in a Hobby Nightmare to be better than it actually was, that kind of thing. So, I think it's a skill you develop, you know? Do you know what Hobby Nightmares has made me really good? It's made me really good at figuring out when a student who writes in an essay is bullshitting me, right? Because I teach a subject where you can bullshit. You can do things like You're doing classics and ancient history, so in doing classics, you can just make shit up. You know what I mean? But I'm able to like see where they do they have a source for that? Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Which I think Hobby Nightmare's done a good job at helping me do that. Just got here. When will the next custom chapter video be? Saturday. Why not? Saturday. I've got some to read out. I'll do it on Saturday. Canadian, if you Canadian, if you send me your custom chapter with your name on it, I'll read it out first because you're here and you're watching the stream. You're a good lad. Fud says, if you look at a young Hillary Clinton, she looks just like Sydney. Dude, Hillary back in the day was like a fucking smoke show. Like Hillary Clinton back in the day was a smoke show. She was absolutely... What she was doing with that Booktooth loser, I have no idea. But like, you know, she could stay at Uncle North's house. There'd be no problem there. Thank you very much, board mate. Thank you very much. I got my comeuppance yesterday when I was taking the piss out of Board because he has really astonishingly bad rolls. For a guy who's playing a role-playing game. Astonishingly bad rolls. And I was taking the piss out of him, and then all of a sudden, my luck dried up, and I was getting the bad rolls. I did a roll that very nearly killed us all. So yeah, it's I crashed the car we're using to get away from the Yakuza. So yeah, we nearly all died. Whoops. Volcano says, in the last months, I have more and more developed interest in Prussia, the 30 Years' War, and Vietnam War, so I run the risk of becoming old, as history turns out to be more entertaining than current sci-fi. Here's the thing, Volcano, right? Have you noticed this? I assume there's going to be a lot of guys in the chat who like history, and I've always liked history from when they were kids. Here's what I want to know. Have you noticed that your old friends who were basically like sports players, normie friends, right? All your athletic friends who thought you were really cringe liking Warhammer are now getting into it. Has anyone noticed that? Because I have. Like, a lot of my friends who are like, you know, very trendy, very cool, they've either got kids, so they use Warhammer as a distraction, but Warhammer's just cool, right? I don't think people give it enough credit for just how cool it is. And eventually, every man on Earth figures out how cool it is. I was like, this is the coolest shit in the world. Why was I not doing this? Well, now you know why I was doing it all that time. You know what I mean? I never had the money for it because I was a kid, but now you know why I was doing it. It's a phenomenon that I've noticed for a long time. Yeah. Sordid Kerr says, hey North, do you think 40k tabletop will ever go back to how it used to be? Or do you think it's forever changed to appease the tournament crowd? That's a fucking good question. That's a really good question. Board, are you going to be on Discord in a little bit? Because I'll be on after the stream. I can do some... I'll probably do some gaming or something. Board also got Wordle and 6 today, so it must be a difficult one. Because he cheats. Cheats. I know you give your Wordle to your missus. Don't be thinking you get that past me. Alright, sorted. So let's see. 40k tabletop. Will it ever go back to how it used to be, or do you think it's forever changed to appease the tournament crowd? I think Warhammer 40,000 will go whatever way Games Workshop thinks the most money is in. In all honesty. And for me, I think that's the tournament crowd right now. Because whilst we will spend money on models, the the fluffy crowd, which is what we are. The fluffy crowd is frugal, because we don't need official Games Workshop kits to tell our stories. As long as that it's recognizable as a Warhammer miniature, we don't really care. We can get it from 3D printing, we can get it from another site somewhere else, because the story we're telling means more to us than the game piece that we have, right? So that's what means a lot to us, is telling the story with our models. Having our models on the tabletop behind us going, oh, look at this, you know, these are my dudes. That's what's important to us. But there's not a lot of money in that, right? There certainly used to be, when Games Workshop would give us shit that we wanted. There used to be, but now we're more expensive to cater to. Whenever we want stuff, it's always expensive stuff. It's almost stuff like, you know, brand new sculpts and character models and conversion parts and shit like that. That's hard to put on the sprue without, you know, paying more money to do so. All a tournament player needs is a good unit in the box. And in fact, the tournament player is quite happy because less options in the box means less things for him to remember during his Warhammer Fantasy battles or his Warhammer battles, whatever he's doing. So, I do think we're at the stage where we're getting tournament players where it's at, you know. But saying that, if that ever changes, if the zeitgeist of money ever changes, then you'll see. I don't think Games Workshop are married to it because they want to do it. I think Games Workshop are married to it because they think that's where the most accessible money lies, basically. And when that changes, they will change again. It's just how they are. Blue Jay says, watching you play Space Marine 2 has made me want to play it. I'm not playing it right now. I'm not good enough to give you a full conversation and play Space Marine at the same time. One of the few games I'm actually pretty good at, right? I'm not a very good gamer. I'm not a very good guy at, like, just doing games and shit. Yeah, I freely admit that. I'm not very good at games. But this game, I'm pretty good at it. I'm not too bad at Space Marine. I've told this story many times, but I still find it amusing. There you go, by the way. Contrast paint, black. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Back down. Open that a bit, so you can see it properly. Okay. Pretty cool. Time for me to dry brush though, so give me a sec. Grey Knight Steel. Mitchell says, I'm doing a mad list of all abhumans and 40k against my brother and his orcs, lol. Yeah, that sounds like a fluffy player thing to do. Paul says, I never cheat at Wordle, I'm not Deadpool. I don't know what that reference means. I wish I did, but I don't. Ooh, I need a stronger silver than that. Yep. Wow, that looks weird over white. One issue I've seen with contrast paints. Normally, if you make a mistake, you can go over it with your paint. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, fine. A later layer will sort that out for you, no problem. With contrast paint, it's not quite how it works. It's more difficult. Because obviously, contrast paint shows what's underneath eventually, right? It'll show what's underneath it. That's cool. Quite like that, actually. Blue steel. I love dry brushing with layer paints. I know people are going to say heresy, but like, it just feels so good, man. That's pretty cool. Owen says, seems like at least the fluffy crowd keeps our miniatures torn by new models and don't care about the older ones anymore, like a subscription model. That's true, that's true. Right, I've also known fluffy players to not do that. I've known fluffy players to keep a hold of armies long after they've gone out of the Games Workshop loving. You know, long after that. Like Games Workshop could say to them, yeah, your models aren't legal anymore. They'll go, I don't give a shit, I like them, so they're staying. I'm not buying you new ones. In fact, they'll probably hate that so much because how dare you have a go at their guys, right? They're very loyal to their models, man, the armies they built. And if you're Games Workshop and you start saying, well, your models suck, they're not legal anymore, a lot of people go, well, fuck you then, see you later, right? Well, fuck you then. And they'd be within the rights to do so, in my opinion. Because at that stage, you've pretty much foregone trust. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you've foregone trust. So now, we're at the point where you kind of fucked it up for yourself. Which is what Games Workshop tend to do, I know. But they shouldn't. Okay, cool. Okay. In one of the Deadpool films, he cheats at Wordle, doesn't he? It's like a Deadpool thing to do. I've heard Ryan Reynolds is a piece of shit. I don't know whether that's just because I live in the part of the world where his football team plays, or near to it anyway. But I've heard he's a piece of shit. Like when people have spoken to him and stuff, which sucks. You think Deadpool would be a nice guy, but a lot of people have said similar reports of his douchebaggery. What band is this? I don't know. A cyberpunk band. It's a copyright-free cyberpunk music. I'll put the link in the description in a minute. Okay, it says, this was my response when Games Workshop obliterated the old Orc Buddy, or Orc Buggy, in their ad with a Warhammer to market all the new Fast Orc vehicles. Yeah. Again, sounds like a Games Workshop thing to do. You live in Wrexham, you never met him though. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've just things that I've heard. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I'm not sure whether I'd put loads of stock in him being a bit of a douche, but Yeah, I just keep hearing it from the same people. And people that I actually trust as well. Who've just been like, yeah, he's a bit of a douche. And I was like, oh. Why? Why, Ryan? I never want anybody to feel like never meet your heroes with me. You know what I mean? Now, I know that's a really stupid thing to say. I'm a YouTuber with like 20-odd thousand subscribers. But like, speaking to YouTubers who've got more than me, it's still like, they still say all the same thing, like make sure you treat your fans with kindness, because especially a channel like yours, because you're small, but like your community is good. Do you know what I mean? So you've really got to, when they come to meet you somewhere, you've got to absolutely put your best foot forward at all times, because you know, it's not like not to be cruel is what they were saying, not to be cruel, but you're not like fucking, you're not a Voldemort, you know, you're not a guy like that. If they come to see you, that's such a huge thing. So you need to, you know, be absolutely on your best behaviour. Not that I'm a douche normally, but like it's more like you're very cautious of what you're saying, and you want to make sure that the other person's having the best experience possible whilst talking to you. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, if somebody's a douche, I'll be a douche in kind. But, you know. Okay. It's almost ready, dude. Dry brush again. So this is always the most intimidating part of painting a Space Marine or any model. The first model where you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. Because you're thinking to yourself, wow, I spent all that time on this one model, this whole army is going to take me so long to do. It's not. It's not. The first one is always the one that takes the longest. Once you get that, you know, process down, you're good. You're great. Pretty cool. Let that dry before I dry brush it. Right. Talk to folks a bit more. Ryan Reynolds played an annoying character in one Blade movie. Practice run for Deadpool. Okay. Blue Jay says, I suppose it's the same as any rich guy buying a football club, but I'm not sure how I feel about actors or celebrities buying teams. What happens if they get bored or it doesn't go to the plan kind of thing? Yeah, I mean, what they did at Wrexham was, I mean, I'm sure Sam could tell you more than me, but what they did at Wrexham is they put football people in charge and then let them get on with it. You know, that they enjoyed the ride. They didn't interfere. They put football people in charge. At every level of the football pyramid, where they were in like League 2, League 1, Championship, you know, at every level, they got best in class. So they got the best staff, the best scouts, you know, for their level, at every level. So when they go up a level, they'd not fire everybody, but they'd add to it and add to it and add to it. And they'd let those people get on with it. They'd say, yeah, get us good players. We'll bankroll your players, we don't care. We'll get us good players and we'll go up the system. That's what they did. They reinvested their money in the stadium and the local area. That's great. But dude, like, you can be a douchebag and still do really nice things. Fucking Hitler made the Autobahn. Like, what more do you want? You know, like, you know. But they have been very, very, very clever in the way that they've gone about their business with Wrexham. You got to give them that. You know. I see your fear, though. I get it. I get the fear. I get why you'd be a bit like, you know, like, do we really want to have these guys buying football teams? I get that. I get that. Totally. Because some people do get bored. Especially guys with money.
System online. Target in motion. Executing.
Especially guys with money. You know, they can get bored.
She's a killer machine in a royal shell. Hunts through wires forged in hell. Optic scanning, heat and moan. She walks alone, she walks alone. Metal crown, no mercy left. Zero fall, zero breath. Human.
What people in America don't seem to get, well, it's not they don't get it. It's just a different culture. Is that it's just that, a different culture. In England, football clubs are considered basically sacrosanct in that they are
I'm next.
representative of the local community, right? So essentially, say you have like the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever, right? Or the LA Rams. Now, the LA Rams weren't always in LA because they're a franchise. Okay, they're not really a team of the local area that represents the local area. They're a franchise, and they can move across the country if they want to. I mean, it's great if they stay wherever you are, but they might not. You know, they might go somewhere else. Because they're a business and they're a franchise. The Rams is a franchise. The LA Rams is not a franchise, right? That kind of a thing. In England, that's not how it works. In England, football club is just that. It's an old working man's club that plays football, essentially. And it represents the local area. So wherever the area that club is in, it's represented by, you know, this place, this football club. And in doing that, or being that, they can't really go anywhere else. It happened once with a team called Milton Keynes Dons. They basically bought a team called Wimbledon that played in London, and they moved it to Milton Keynes, which is basically in the Midlands, and lost all their fans as a result, as they should have done. There was huge controversy at the time, and they became the most hated team in England. Still now, today, people do not like Milton Keynes Dons, like at all. They are not big fans of them because it's seen as like antithetical to what football's supposed to be. Football's supposed to be your local team in your local city. It's great if people from outside Liverpool like Everton, awesome. But like there will always be that feeling of like, yeah, but you know, like you now if you're foreign and you've been to a game, that's a different matter. And then I'm like, okay, right, you know, you're one of us now, sort of a thing, and you're never leaving. And you can support whoever you want, by the way. This is not me saying you can't support an English team. That's English red. Nope, not saying that at all. You can do whatever you want. And I support your right to do so. What I'm saying is that football clubs aren't really meant for worldwide support, and when they do get worldwide support, quite a lot of the time it's the local fans who are priced out. Liverpool being a case in point. So in this city, Everton are seen as the locals club. The people from the city, you know, they represent everyone who's here. And Liverpool do as well. That's why they're called Liverpool, right? But on the flip side of that, Liverpool games now are full of tourists. It's just literally full of tourists. There's Asian people there. There's fucking Arab businessmen everywhere. There's, you know, it's like you're going to a UFC fight or something. And the atmosphere suffers. really does suffer. It absolutely suffers for that as well. Because even if a local wants to go, they're now priced out because Billy Big Bollocks, who is, you know, from Taiwan or whatever, who's got all the money in the world, he prices you out. Are you one of us, bored? Yeah, what I mean is normal people would be like, we like the fact that you support our team, but we wouldn't call you an Evertonian. I would, because I know you, but like they wouldn't. 0151, exactly, yeah, the area code, yeah. Where's my bloody thing gone?
Drown in me, I won't know you're high. You taste like the last forbidden love is the rush in my
Yeah, that's the thing. Even Liverpool fans will say like most Everton fans will have that 0151 area code on their phone. Where, as years have gone on, Liverpool have gone the other way. It's now like fucking. It's like a stadium of strangers. You know what I mean? You don't know who you sit next to anymore.
ecstasy like
You know.
scripture.
It really sucks. It does. It really sucks. But with success, that's one of the pitfalls, man. It comes with it. It comes with it. Unfortunately. Time to dry brush these arms. Come on, Necron Compound. Give us a good showing here. Oh, that's lovely, yeah. Really nice. Yeah, I like it.
Baby, take it all of me.
Hmm.
Rewrite my history. Sorry, I don't love easy.
Yeah, that's what we do. Bit of red. Normally I would never do this, but you guys are here, so give you a show. Right, we're going for Grey Seer next. Grey Seer, where are you?
Ecstasy like
What's it
scripture.
done?
It makes me drown in you. I want you high.
Grey Seer.
It tastes like the last forbidden
Grey Seer. What a paint.
love is the rush.
What a paint.
System, I want the high, never die. Baby, take it all of me. Rewrite my history. Sorry, I don't love easy. Sorry, I'm an addict for the way you say my name. Ecstasy like scripture.
there. How's it going, Biff Stack? How's it going, dude? All good here. Having fun. Fun, fun, fun in the sun. As they say on Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf. All fun. Fun and games. Need these paints, man. Just doing the first Umbral Wolf. Getting the models ready. Just make sure that... Again, the first Marine always takes ages. Always, always, always. But that's fine. You're figuring out your process. You're figuring out what you want people to look like. And do you know what? You're going to be staring at these Marines or these models, whatever you're doing, for the next 50, 60 hours. So you may as well make sure you get the first one right so you know what you're doing. That's my opinion. I was an SV Werder Bremen fan. Yeah, you guys had Miroslav Klose, didn't you, for a while? And some guy called Granite, who was just this amazing striker out of nowhere. Since then I quit of how well the team was doing. It seemed like I was a fan in the 90s and not the club. Yeah, fair enough. Biff says I got a week off of school, so I'm enjoying 24 hours where I don't have to worry about anything. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, worry-free hours are a absolute treasure, so make sure you make the most of them. Or not. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right. A lot of people will say that, but to me, that like puts pressure on me to enjoy the day, and I fucking hate that shit. It really annoys me. Like, what if I just want to chill? What if I don't want to? I don't have to be absolutely happy all the time, dude. I can just chill out today, right? You know, but those days always go by way too quickly because, you know, you're trying to do too much with them. There's one thing I envy people in the world. It's those people who can enjoy a day and just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like not like feel pressure to do anything or whatever. They just genuinely enjoy it. So when they come home, when they go back to work, like, oh, I had a wonderful weekend, and you're sitting there thinking, bastard. So all I did all weekend was sit here and dread coming back into fucking work. You know. I said this the other day. I'm not sure if it was on stream. No, it wasn't. No, it was in private. I honestly believe, feel free to laugh at me when I say this, that Games Workshop do the best decals. Not so much designs, although designs are nice. They do the best quality decals. They slide right off the page onto your model and they stick there and they don't wander, you know. You can move them around without too much bother. And here's the thing, here's how I know they're good. I can do it. And I'm a massive retard, and I can do it. So yeah. I think that's all the red we're doing. Oh, no, hang on. No, fuck it. Yeah, I can see this colour scheme being quite decent to put on. Building your first heresy destroyer board. Alright, fair enough. Volcano says, Space Marine eye lenses take the most time for me. Oh, dude, yeah. They need to pop to create the contrast to the rest of the model. Yep. I agree. Normally my mindset is, what's on the docket next? Like a Black Templar consolidating into the next unit, but during breaks, like vacations, I make sure I don't have to do anything about it. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. We actually have a German here, so I'm going to be very careful. But, German decals? No. No. Had a few of them now, and they've not been very good, I'm afraid to say. German decals. There's like 2 companies now have let me down from Germany. I'm not going to say who they are, because I'm on stream, that'd be a douchey thing to do, but... Well, GW, sometimes they are the best at things, and you just have to hold your hands up and go, yeah, that was pretty good. What you just did there is pretty good. It's pretty good shit.
The first time you're cold alive, my system's crashed. No override. Your heartbeat, a depraved file, but I'd rewrite hell just to see
I
you compile.
really wish we get droplet bottles soon. I mean, I'm okay with what we've got, but like fucking hell, sometimes when you've got you no paint left on your brush and you're like, okay, I need some more paint, and Jesus, got to open the pot again, open up, get my thing in there. No. I think we've all been burned by non-traditional Warhammer markets in the past. I think everyone needs to go through at some stage. You just buy something and it just doesn't measure up. And it makes you think, wow, maybe Games Workshop are pretty good at this modelling thing. They'd rather you waste the paint and spend more money. For by design, I say. Maybe. Maybe. Nearly there. Occasionally I'll use Games Workshop paint, but if I need an exact colour, I usually could do dropper companies. Well, yeah, me too. But it's like... I suppose so many bottles of Norn oil, I've lost count, dude, yeah. Yeah. I know you're excited for the new Warhammer, not Citadel paints. Well, what they're going to say is it's the same stuff in the thing, you know what I mean? You know. Okay. I need to go get some blue from downstairs. Then we're pretty much done. And it's red time, and once red is on, Non-oil where it needs non-oiling, and then decals. It's crazy. We got through that so quick. For a first model in a large set we're going to be doing, that's pretty quick. Like for a first model in a large set, this is pretty quick. I'm quite happy with this. Because it means that when we actually get to do batches of these dudes, we'll be doing it pretty quickly, which is nice. Pretty good. Spilled one, but I had a night to wash, so I dipped it right off the spill pile. That's cool, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, Imperial Knights pay for the privilege of being able to do that. As is the right and privilege of every Imperial Knight. Right, nearly there, come on, nearly done. Okay. I'm gonna get some blue, and I'll be right back.
I'm drifting alone through the hologram. City pulse. Can you feel it all?
Neon veins beneath my skin. Rain blends the asphalt with what's within. Breathe the current, feel the wire. Even silence sings through tangled fire.
Still walking.
Still walking.
Drops on my island, signals flashing, broken toad. Face beneath the skin and chrome. Steps alive, machine divine. I'm part of her, no borderline, just love. Just flow.
I have my blue, and I'm ready to go.
My skin.
I've got my light on as well, so I can see what I'm doing.
Asphalt with what's within.
So what is everybody working on right now? You're probably working on something.
City whispers. Tangled fire. Drops on my eyelid, signal flashing, broken tone, race beneath the skin.
When do you guys consider an army done?
Steps align, machine defined.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm part of her.
When do you guys consider an army finished? Absolutely done. So you're just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm doing no more of this now. I'm done. Okay. Time for Flesh Tearers Red. Hey North Corrupt here. Hey Corrupt, how's it going, man? Appreciate the advice and thoughts given in the Hobby Nightmare. I haven't really opened up about it. So glad to hear that I'm not crazy. You're certainly not crazy, dude. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. Like, what that guy did was a piece of shit move. You are not crazy, man. Like, don't worry about it. So that Hobby Nightmare, and in response to you, got me to actually talk to one of my friends over the weekend, right? I talked to him about basically how he's been past couple of months. He's been a bit of a shitter, to be honest with you. And here's the thing, he had no idea. He had no idea he was doing that. So, from what he told me, anyway. You know, he could be bullshitting me, I suppose, but no, he said he had no idea. He said, "I'm really sorry. Like, I had no idea I was treating you that way." I was like, "Yeah, you were, but you know, we'll say no more about it because you know, you seem to be genuinely apologetic, and that's fine. We'll leave it there." You know, now it's on me. Now it's like, okay, well, if he does it again, you know. So yeah, so sometimes hobby nightmares are good for me too. There's nothing. You know what the worst thing in the world is? Having to break up with a male friend. Ugh. Always hated that. I hate breaking up with male friends. Thankfully, I very rarely had to do it. But, fuck man, it's horrible. By break up, I mean, literally, you just say to them, like, listen, like, neither of us are getting anything out of this anymore. You've been a bit of a prick to me, to be honest with you, and I don't really like who you are anymore, so we need to, like, not be friends anymore. Yeah. Every dude will tell you that's the worst. Like, that's worse than breaking up with a chick. Right? Because usually the chick's done something to really piss you off, so you're just like, okay, well, this is over. Yeah, breaking up with a dude is way worse. Because there's that knowledge there that you've just fallen out of the friendship. It fucking sucks. I hate it.
I'm next.
She's a killer machine in a royal shell, hunts through wires forged in hell. Optic scanning heat and bone. She walks alone. She
Go.
walks alone. Metal crown, no mercy left. Zero fault, zero breath. Human object marked in red. She won't stop until it's dead.
Human object detected. Target locked, unsuspected. No remorse. Human object.
Subject's dead.
Gonna start building a 30k Havoc for my Iron Warriors. Nice. Slowly getting back into building and painting. Good Jim Jitsu. Cheers, man. Sword, it says, finishing up Word Bearers. Contempt Dreadnought. Nice. This stack, I finished my base force of Red Scorpions recently, then got a 20-man block of Mark IVs I'm still working on. Right.
Inside the grid, but I move and she slid. Chemical noise she can't decode.
What we never paint for me, striped trousers. That's a big thing for Blood Bowl minis in the early 90s. Oh my god. Corrupt says, I couldn't agree more, especially being a mail carrier. I'm alone all day, every day, so losing one of the few people to talk to and hang out with to fill that gap is super rough. Yeah, man. It is, but you can't put a measure on self-respect. Do you know what I mean? You just can't. You cannot put a measure on your own self-respect and like who you are as a person. So, I think you did the right thing. That's just me. Or like, you're going through the right thing if you follow through with it and you make sure that, you know, behavior like that, like, it's just like, why did that guy not come to you first? You know, that's what irritates me. You know, like, it just, you know, like, as I said in the Hobby Nightmare, if a friend of mine, something happens to him or I hear something about him that's not great, I'll ask him to explain. And he'll be right within his right to someone to piss off and say, listen, I'm not explaining shit to you. Then I'll be like, okay, well, whilst I'm not going to take their side totally, you're alarming me now. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's going on?
System terminated. Memory safe.
Okay, we are getting there. We are getting there. Mifstack says, I had to do it recently myself. I know he wouldn't take it well, so I intentionally drifted apart after our recent major disagreement. That was much easier than confronting him about it. Sometimes that's the way to go. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. And you will know whether it's the right thing to do yourself, because you were in the situation. But sometimes, absolutely, that's the right thing to do. You know, if you being, you know, around him is going to cause more issues, then yeah, right thing to do. my friend, when I spoke to him about his behaviour, basically said, you know, like, I really missed you. You should have come to me sooner, and I know I'd have sorted it out. And I was like, well, I didn't feel like I could come to you sooner. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way you bit, I didn't feel like I could. I thought it was just like, you know, that was who you are now. So like, what else am I supposed to do? But he understood and we got on with it, you know. That's not to excuse if your friends are being dickheads, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you let them back in, great. Wonderful, wonderful. You're back in as mates again. That's brilliant. But if they're dicks again, then you've got to make that decision, man. Okay. Ow. It feels... I'll write a Feels Friday about the guy at some point. Yeah, do so, man. Do so. My whole thinking on it was that they wanted the easy way out. I stopped playing Magic with them so they could blame me since I was already kind of out of the group. Scummy as hell. Yeah, maybe. You were an easy target, right? Because you're not there to defend yourself. This guy says, working on some heavy weapon sisters and cherubs from Retributor box. One more to finish the grey armor base coat and then start dry brushing the layers. Yeah, man, you're on a conveyor belt over there. Good. 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 Time for the normal. Good evening from Luxembourg. Wow, man. Tiny country. I'll be with you in a sec. Just finished my coat of this stuff. Hey, Luxembourg, dude. We do get them from all over the place in the Northern Exile community. Good evening from Luxembourg. Thank you for... No worries, man. No worries. No worries. Absolutely no worries at all. No worries at all. Almost there.
Each kiss a tremor inside my core.
You prefer Cyberpunk or Shadowrun? Ah, here we go. The good question. So, I prefer Cyberpunk, but unlike most people on that side of the equation, I do not hate Shadowrun. In fact, Shadowrun is one of my formative games. It's one of the games that I first started at with Cyberpunk, getting into Cyberpunk as a genre. I played the Harebrained Schemes games, right? The computer RPGs. So I was too young to play the, not too young, but like you know, Shadowrun the original came out when a time when, well, the tabletop version came out at a time when I was a bit too young to play them. But it's very good. I really enjoyed it. I still really enjoyed Dragonfall and Hong Kong. I thought they were both really good. Love playing them both. Yeah, that's where I am with it. That's where I am with it most of the time. I really appreciate what Shadowrun did for me in particular, right? Just a really good game. And we'll figure out a way of doing this more succinctly eventually. But we're nearly there. That's coming together. That's coming together. Now remember what I said when you finished your model. Right at the start of the stream, what did I say to do? You leave it for 24 hours at least. And you come back and you give it an honest appraisal. But I'm liking this right now. I think it's pretty cool. I'll show you in a sec. And I'll whack on the decals now as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's whack on a decal. Let's whack on the decals whilst we're here. These Games Workshop ones are really easy. He says, as he's about to fuck it up. There's my tweezers. I bought the reprint of Shadowrun First Edition last year. Great to see the 80s and that. Oh, yeah, man. I've heard, like, Shadowrun is a terrible game for, like, character generation. And that's from people who like crunchy games. They're like, dude, like, this game is just so fucking dense. Oh wait, I forgot to do something. Whoops. Whoa, wait, where is that? Where is my thing? There. Put a bit of that in there. So you literally cannot do transfers without sealer on there. Like, it's just so difficult to do. Well, the problem is, though, sealer can be quite hard to see. But it means that the transfer goes on nice and flat with no... There's no... that. Aha. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. See, white undercoat makes your black so much better, but it also means that elsewhere in the model, the white can push through a little bit too much that you don't want. So I'm thinking for my next one of these guys, I'm just going to fully do black all over. Because this time I try to avoid certain bits just to make it a bit easier, but next time I think I'm just going to go for it. Because it just doesn't make very much sense for me not to. So. That stuff. The fact that I can do these with Games Workshop decals just shows you how good they are. Like literally. Normally you do this off stream because it takes quite a bit to get it to activate and then to get it on your model and then to swift it around, make sure it's all going right. But not with Games Workshop ones. Straight on, no problem. And the cool thing about them is, by them I mean Games Workshop ones, is that you can, they're like super easy to reposition once they're on there. Nice, dude, that looks cool. Cool. I like this guy. Yeah, man, I think that's the colour, and that's it. Looks great. Right. One last bit of Black Templar, just to cover up little bits on the black armour. Maybe one covered up. But these guys, when I get the Space Wolves out on these guys, and you know, the actual Space Wolves, they're gonna look really cool. You know what? I'm happy with that guy. Just got to do the lenses now with my gemstone paint. I cheat with gemstone paint. I'm not sure what you guys do, but I cheat. I put a single dot of white in there, and then I just do some soulstone blue, and then I'm done with my eyes. That's what I do. I honestly cannot be fucked doing it any other way. I know a lot of other people will say you need to do different things. It's just not for me. I love doing it this way. And you know what? The results are normally pretty good. So, you know. There we go. I think he's done. He's not done. He's basing, of course, but like, you know, he's basing and then varnishing. But for now, I think that's what we're doing with them. Let me just. There we go.
Tell me all the ways to wreck your name. If you could see, you'd wear me like a forever. But heaven's just your game.
So Umbral Wolves, all in black, silver arms, crimson helmets. I was hoping that would get in focus, but it isn't so far. I need the light in this room, I really do. Because, like, when the light was natural before, the camera was like, zoom, on focus. Now, it's not, like, at all. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Focus on my hand. Thank you. Okay, now. Focus on the model. Focus on the model. I fucking hate cameras, dude. Honestly. Right there. Focus in on it. You focused on my hand. Well, maybe you're not. Naughty thing. Bollocks to it. I'll just take a photograph of it. This fucking thing, dude. Honest to God. Really hate it. I really hate, like, the fact that it was so easy to do before. Like, it was just going, yeah, no problem. Focus in, focus out, no problem. Yeah, all good. And all of a sudden, alright. Send that to myself, then send it to them, get it on here. My God, sometimes, dudes, sometimes. And the technology, why don't we just fucking work? Go. Right, download those and then put them on. Again, it should have just worked, but no. Can't have that, can we? What is this now? Did I swear to God, dude, like, I'm just... Save as, thank you. Jesus Christ. Honestly, sometimes technology, it's like you're trying to fucking... I'm not trying to bring down the space shuttle, mate. I just want a fucking picture. That's it. Honestly, there's nothing worse than the computer trying to interpret what you want it to do. It's like... The worst thing I hate, right, is when the computer using tries to guess what your intentions are. It's like, no, dude. No, if I've not told you to do anything, don't do it. Right, here we go. My God. What about rigmarole? Obviously not finished. Needs a bit more of a spruce up. But you can see, look at that. It looks like I've edge highlighted it. I've not. That's literally contrast paint over white. Black contrast over white. It's crazy, right? Once the varnish is over the top of it, it's going to look even better. 'Cause it'll marry all different surfaces together. But that is where we are. Our first of the non-cringe Space Wolves is created. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Again, take my own advice. I leave that now for a couple of days. And I will come back to it in a couple of days. And then I will decide on what kind of a colour scheme I'm going to have. Well, first things first, I think next time, on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing some Exiled blades. Because this is all an investigation work for me, this next bit. I'm just investigating what I'm going to be doing with my next small project of Space Marines. I may even do some orcs as we go along through the weeks, because this is not going to be a one-off thing. This is going to be a 3 times a week thing, at least. I have the small models that I need for the Space Wolf project, so we'll be doing that as we go along. Once I've decided on a colour scheme, I think I'm pretty happy with this one. We've reworked it. I think this looks pretty cool. Needs touching up in places. That's what she said. But I think it looks pretty cool for now. Base is going to be desert, like the Exiled blades. Yeah, contrast on white uncoat is cheating. Yeah, it is, man, but it looks good. It looks good. Right. Dudes, I am knackered. So I'm going to go to bed. No, not go to bed. I'm going to go chill, have something to eat. Alright, but I will speak to you tomorrow for some more 40k rantage. That'll be going on tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I'll be doing some more Hobby Nightmares. And we'll also be doing some more chilling out and doing a bit more streaming.